What do YouTube? This your boy Sheriff speaking. Today I want to talk to you guys about Teen Wolf Season 6, Episode 7, titled Heartless. And, well, it definitely left you breathless, that's for sure. The part where I came in, because I took a little nap before then, I only missed like a good 13, 15 minutes of it. But I'm sure I didn't really miss a lot more, other than, Sheriff Stilinski finding out and tearing back the wallpaper to find that, hey, this is where my son's room used to be, you know. And the part where I came in is when Lydia is laying on her bed and her mom lays in beside her, and she tells her mom that, hey, listen, the woman I met conjured up her son, her dead son. He was 8 years old back in 1985. And her mother goes, okay. And then she finally makes the conclusion that what if Claudia Stilinski isn't real? What if Sheriff Stilinski is conjuring her up so then that way he won't remember who Styles is? Because then she brings on some pretty valid evidence, like the Jeep, for example. They said that they got that Jeep over 20 years ago, and yet and still, it was in the schoolyard, and all this other jazz. Claudia had this debilitating brain disease, and she's still alive. All these things are there to mask. She came to the conclusion that all these things are there to mask the fact that Sheriff Zelensky has a son. Like I think he knows that he has a son, but like Lydia told him that you're using that because you realize that remembering him holds a lot more power. Something of that magnitude. I think she said that you remember who he is, but you're not remembering it. You're misremembering, so then you won't realize how important it is. In fact, while they were in his room, she sees his jersey, but Zelensky doesn't see it at first, and he thinks that she's just this very severely complicated or emotionally disturbed woman. And she sniffs his jersey, and she throws his jersey in Sheriff Zelensky's hands, and I think he looks at it. And as a matter of fact, while before all this, he asked if, how long have you known? Have you known this the entire time? He said, well, when we moved in here, it was still here, but I never knew. And then, and Lydia's mother advised her not to be the one to tell Sheriff Zelensky that, hey, your wife's not real. You have a son. But, he said, that's a full-blown flesh and blood woman there. But then it all makes sense because, the Wild Hunt erased Styles from his memory, so in his void, they put his mother there to keep him busy, basically, to distract him from the fact that, hey, you have a son. But I really think that Lydia was really onto something when she said that. Another thing I noticed is when Malia and Peter were trying to get inside the Wild Hunt to get Styles out. And that was pretty interesting scene. Those are pretty interesting scenes as well because, Peter is severely burned. Realistically, if he was mortal, he would be dead. As Melissa told Malia, you can go say his goodbyes. And I love when she said this. She said, "It's Peter. I don't need to go say my goodbyes." A little play on words to Peter's previous. Like I said in my last video, Peter's been burned alive a couple times. So this is nothing new to him. Still painful as ever, but nothing new. So they go to see him, and they're talking, and he's like, "I can hear you." So, they pull the plastic back, and then before they go in, Melissa reminds Malia of who her father actually is as a con man who would try to hurt anyone in his way just for his own good. And Peter's like, well, here I am. Like, what did you want to ask me? So he said, and then he coyly and sarcastically and smart ass like asks Melissa, what do you know about me and my kind? And Melissa says, I know about the 9 herbs, and jams that damn needle in his damn sternum, which heals him very quickly, and they scatter out of the hospital, supporting him and get in the elevator. And Peter says, we never did get that second date. Until a room in which Melissa just pushes him back, lets him fall on the floor. Very classic Melissa. And as I go on, I realize that, listen, there's a lot, they finally figure out how to plan, they figure out how to put him like in a bunker, like in a little dog cage, a little dog kennel or something like that. A ghost rider, that is. and they create like this long lightning bolt. When when the lightning bolt struck, it went straight down. And the Ghost Rider, they trap him in there. It took a while, but they got him up in there. So Scott, Liam, and Theo get the Ghost Rider within the little cage, and they realize something. Well, Liam improvises and decides, well, let's start talking to him, which was not a part of the plan. They were supposed to catch the Ghost Rider and do whatever with it, and so possibly even torture it. And so Liam asks the first question, like, well, Mr. Ghost Rider, and that makes makes both Scott and Theo look at him like he's crazy, like, what the hell is he doing? And so when he does that, they keep asking questions like, why are you here? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, how can we get everybody back? And there was no reply. And then you see Mason and Hayden out there, and Mason is able to find Corey. A little fun fact, because a light refracts off of Corey whenever he goes invisible. It makes a little outline, so that's how Mason's able to find him. And with that being said, they can't find out how to talk to him. And then Mason remembers something like, well, he was right, but then he was wrong. They're not afraid of him, but Pierre's is able to communicate with him back at Styles' house when they had that party, and everybody got taken out of Styles' house. The Ghost Rider uttered something, but it was inaudible. No one could understand it but Parrish. So when they get Parrish, he's there, he's talking to them, and you finally hear the Ghost Rider's voice. He asks him, like, what do you want? Like, and he says, something along the lines of, we are Ghost Riders, those who hunt with us forever. He repeats that 2 times. And then Theo makes a connection that he knows that Scott's the alpha. Now, the reason why I think this is so cool is because we saw when Mr. Douglas came in, he's been standing there for a while. He's seen what's going on. He's been seeing what's been going on. He has red eyes. Must mean he's an alpha or whatever. So he says it's been a long time. And then, you see, the Ghost Rider crack his whip, drop his whip, claws come out with Mr. Douglas, same with Peter, because he hears them coming, because him and Malia go to look for the portal to the Wild Hunt, and they couldn't find it, but Malia marked the territory, visually marked the territory, because that's where they found Peter's burned body. They try to come in, so then Peter tries to tell Leah that Styles is gone forever. He's in the Wild Hunt. And then Leah says to them, why did you come back with these keys? Like, why did you want us to find Scott? Why did you want us to find Styles? He said, I didn't. I just want to get out of the Wild Hunt. Leah's able to see past the fact that Peter does have a heart. And it shows him more when he hears the Wild Hunt approaching. He tells Malia to run. On the cover, he said, give me another chance. And that, to me, was a pretty pivotal moment just to show how much Peter has actually changed over the course of the series. So back to the little standoff between Douglas and the Ghost Rider, and a little prior to that, as Parrish is questioning him, he realizes that he can actually set him free, and that's actually what he tries to do via mind control from the Ghost Rider or something of that sort. And so Liam and Scott have to tackle him out the ground, outside of the force field of where the mountain ash is, to snap him out of it. So he goes off running. Parrish does. He says, don't follow me. He takes off running. And then that's when Mr. Douglas engages the Ghost Rider and rips out his pineal gland, to which he actually makes Theo break the seal of the mountain ash. They come back, and he's gone. Theo's against the cage holding his stomach. They think Theo immediately did something because of his previous actions. But then Mason says, Theo hasn't done anything. These have been happening all week. And then, they realize that the whip is gone. And then we see Corey walking out near the Beacon Hill Preserve, and then that's when Mr. Douglas greets him with turquoise eyes, I believe. And he takes Corey because he was able to figure out, boom, there's a connection to Mr. Douglas, or I should say, figure out Douglas is one of his real names, I believe, which is Hoffman, and he takes him. So now it's interesting to see what next week holds. We see in the preview, Chef Stalinski is putting, Styles' signature red line, the way he pieces things together. That's what I like to call it. We see Scott growl full force. We see him protect Malia as if another as if Mr. Douglas is gonna go take them into the wild hunt or something of that matter. You hear Styles, I mean, you hear Scott even say they won't leave until everyone in Beacon Hills is gone. But that's what I have to say about this. This is your boy Chip Speech. If you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel and all that other jazz, man. I love y'all.